the RT Cools.
All right, hey guys, welcome. It's Friday and we're live. So this is SketchUp Live. My name's Aaron. With me is Donovan.
Yep, I've got Rebecca Black playing in my head right now because it's Friday. Gotta get down on Friday.
Yeah, and we're gonna do some live modeling because that's what we do on Fridays. Because I actually started talking and didn't have a place to go with that because we are. Hey, I just wanted to do a quick call out. RT Cool is in the chat, and I want to recognize him as one of our newest sages on the forum. So if you don't know about our forum, forums.sketchup.com is an amazing place to get help with SketchUp, share your work, ask questions, give input to the program. We actually have a section there where we ask for feature requests. And we have these awesome people who help out called sages, and RT Cool is one of them now. So congrats.
Yeah. Help out is definitely an understatement. They offer feedback and give experience to SketchUp that it's invaluable. It's amazing what they do over on the forums.
Yeah. So
well deserved.
Yes.
Well deserved.
Absolutely. And yeah, oh, there's Dave, another sage chiming in. Yeah. So I just wanted to give a shout to that. I saw him pop up right there, so I thought I'd say that. Because we really don't have other announcements right now, like we're just at that point where we're sliding into 2025, figuring out what this year is going to be like.
I would say landing. I don't know if I'd say sliding.
I just, as the words came out, it made it sound like, oh, this is graceful.
It's been such an easy transition.
It's yeah, it's like everybody. We're doing business. We're doing our thing. But yeah, so yeah, let's get into this. We are going to model at your request a Pennyfarthing bicycle. You guys have, whether or not you know what that term is, you've seen these before. These are the bikes with the big old, like 5-6 foot tall front wheel and the little bitty back wheel. People with handlebar mustaches and 3-piece suits and knickers would ride around on them. One of those. So we're going to do that. We're going to model that, and I'm going to stop introducing and start modeling right now.
Hey, speaking of introducing, hey, welcome everybody in the chat across YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn. Happy Friday. We got people chiming in from Syria, from a very cold UK, from Devon, UK, from... I got to scroll down, from Italy, from Vancouver, sunny and clear Vancouver, Canada. Sunny and clear. That seems like such a waste for winter. Anyway, Vancouver, Canada. We got people coming in from Salt Lake City, Utah, from Short Descent, Colorado. Ooh, I have not heard of that place.
That sounds like an interesting place. Short Descent.
I am going to mispronounce this. I am so sorry. Coming in from Barak, Poland?
Klushborg?
Yeah, are you okay?
Yes. I don't know. I'm guessing too. I don't know.
From Minnesota. Yeah. So Kegi pointed out that the thumbnail for this live is not a Pennyfarthing.
It is not.
Sort of. It is. Well, it's technically it is. This is the motorized version of the Pennyfarthing. I picked that one because it had the patent diagrams and things like that on it, and since we are doing like modeling, I'm like, oh, this seems a little bit more appealing. That's on me, totally on me. I know it's not technically like the bike version of Pennyfarthing. It is the, what do they call the motor ones? It has some sort of 1880s nickname, like the motor something,
Motronical or something, or
Motronical. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're going to do this. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be fun. And we'll just clear this up right now. I'm just going to grab a picture and drop it right into SketchUp. So this is the thing that we are going to make. Ta-da. And yes, there are more pictures of these bicycles. There are clearer ones. There are even drawings of the pieces. I want some room to move, Last week we did a house from pictures, and I felt very compelled to try to get it as accurate as possible. But oh, I did. Kluschborg was correct. I don't do things right very often, so I really gotta take advantage when I get them right. So I'll call that out. But this is the thing. This is the thing we're gonna make right now. So I will say that I've looked at quite a few of these, and there are just like a modern day bicycle. There's differences from one to another. So there's some basic pieces though, right? Big wheel, little wheel. We got the forks in the front with the pedals. Got some little wacky hang-downy, mustachy looking handlebars. Little seat on this frame.
All the technical terms.
That's right. There's going to be more. Don't you worry. And a little teeny wheel in the back. So those are the pieces we're going to make, basically. Yeah. So sometimes we go for like, I ask you guys to find pictures and upload it. I think we have enough here to put together our own bicycle. I think we can do this. We got this. All right. So
the puns about the solid tires are already coming in.
I was thinking about that because like my immediate thought with tires was treads and like I was saying like mountain bike tires. I'm like, no, probably more like road tires. And I'm like, no, they're probably just rubber tubes. Like there's probably nothing on there other than like a solid rubber tube. So yeah, probably not going to be too difficult, I don't think. So we're going to do this. We're going to launch into it. Cool. Yeah, let's get some stuff roughed out here. I'm going to start with just a couple of circles. So I'm going to come in here to about the middle, pull one circle up. All right, so here's the first thing I'm noticing right off the bat. When I pull it up like this, notice how the top and bottom of my circle hit the middle of the tire. The left side's close to the middle, the right side's way off. It's not a problem, but it does tell me that my image is that tire's not square to the camera. Not a problem for what we're doing, but it is something to consider if you're using a reference image where you need to match fairly closely or something like that. Checking for things like square, which is actually what I'm doing. I'm using a circle to see how square this image was, as in squares in directly facing the camera. So not a big deal, but it is something I know now. Like before anything else, stuff's not going to line up perfectly because it's not perfectly facing towards the camera. So my 24-sided circle is not going to cut it for this big front tire. So let's go to entity info and let's try doubling it. Let's go to 48 sides.
Lawrence chimed in with the word that I could not remember, velocipede.
That's it. That is it.
Yep.
I don't like that. Sounds too close to centipede. I'm not a fan of things with more than, say, 4 legs.
Ooh, Lawrence is asking, could you not just stretch the image to make it more circle?
Possibly, but what I'm wondering is if the whole bicycle, yeah, look at this. Let me show you something. See where this back tire is on this, what I assume is some sort of a grid, and where the front tire is? That makes me think that the whole thing, this body right here too, see how this gets closer right here than it is up here? So I'm thinking that whole the top part is kind of pivoted over the front tire right now. So yeah, there's things I could do, but honestly, like I said, look, I mean, here, let me show you why I'm not worried. Let's zoom in a little bit. We got no detail. We got free reign on this one. We're gonna do things the way we think things should be did. I'm gonna redo my circle. So to that end, I'm going to reference the image in some ways, but I'm not going to get too hung up, which I sometimes do. You guys know me well enough to know that sometimes I get caught up in details, probably when I don't have to. But yeah, so I'm just going to kind of try to get the general shape together, and we'll put details in from there. So I'm going to do that by offsetting the circle right about to the middle of that top bar, and that I'm going to use as the center line of my frame. So about here is where it's going to stop, and then somewhere, I'm going to say right about here, I'm going to take that edge and run that down to about there. All right, so that line right there, that is the edge that's going to be the body. The body, it's a single tube, so it feels weird to say the frame or the body of my bicycle, but that's what it is. So I'm going to weld that, and I'm not going to put it in a group. I'm going to put this circle in a group right here. I've got two things in an image, so I feel like, you know, it's probably a fair time right now to save this.
Ah,
it's a new year and I'm a new man, Donovan.
I know.
I'm a guy who saves things. So good at that. Okay. So that does mean down here somewhere, and I will adjust this, but I'm going to go for about the right size. I'm going to pick about the middle, and I'm going to reference the vertical height of this circle. I'm going to go ahead and make that 48 sides too. Yes, the question is probably out there, could I use the same thing in like as a component and shrink it down? I could, but if you look at the detail on this, there's a lot more spokes on here than this. Actually, that back tire doesn't seem like there's enough spokes, right? That's, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I don't know. I don't really understand the way spokes work.
Keggy's poking at the bear. He's like, so does this mean that Aaron will be using guides and doing math?
Come on, guys. Personal growth is a step at a time. Jeez. You give a mouse a cookie. All right. Cool. So there are my two tires. And then it looks like what I got here is my fork, my rear fork, kind of looks like it goes down and then curves off to the middle. See that little piece that goes like that? So I still feel pretty good about where this frame is. Somewhere up here we'll have a thing, a tubey thing that will hold the fork. I don't remember what that part's called. Collar? I don't know. Somebody out there likes it or knows what that is. So I'm going to do, there's another piece right here that I'm going to draw in. Whoops, somebody didn't get drawn in right. Draw a line like that. I'm going to put an arc like that. And I'm going to take this and this and this, weld it. And okay. So I got some of the basic pieces. I think I'm gonna put this frame together first right now, and then come back and continue on with the tires and such. So group here, group here. I just saved again. It's hard to be so good at saving. All right. I feel like, so what I want to do here, let me talk through some thoughts I have right here. First thing actually I need to do is I need to take this image and I'm going to put it on a new tag. Create a tag called ref. Oh, already got that. I'm going to put this image onto the ref tag. That way I can toggle that on and off as I go. So what I want to do with this, so I have my main piece is going to be a tube that comes down to here. And then I have a smaller tube that sits up like this that the seat is mounted onto. So what I think I'm going to do is, and then up here, I have the fork holder. Oh, did anybody know what that thing was? Oh, I got it. Philip killed it with a pun. This is not me following an exact image. This is my bespoke version. Many, many props for that. Yeah, no.
I was trying to look at how tall pennyfarthings were. And
Excellent.
It looked like 64 inches.
The front tire was just over 5 feet.
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out. I do have to keep in mind because I'm looking at pictures of people standing by them, and I'm like, oh, I guess they weren't that tall. But I'm also trying to remember, but that back then people were shorter. So yeah.
Okay.
Yep, 5 foot tall pennyfarthings.
Cool. Well, then I will scale back to that after the fact, which is one of my favorite ways to model. I don't really like to get too hung up on things like accuracy while I'm modeling. I'm just kidding. It's an option. It's an option I have. I can always work backwards. Yes, somebody just called out the fact that my 2 tires were different heights, which meant when I got done, if I put it back, my seat would have gone back. And yeah, so I fixed that. Again, because that tire, it's further proof that the frame right here is not in line with the tire. It is turned backwards, thus the discrepancy between where they are. Just for my own reference, I do have an inference point at the center of this circle that I could always jump to. But because I'm going to be modeling outside with stuff that needs to line up with this tire, I'm going to throw a big old X in the middle of both of these groups. That way, I know that when I come in and draw my fork in, it has to go right here. And when I create my back fork, it needs to go to right here. So that's what that was. Just a little bit of thinking I wanted to share. I do that sometimes. Both think and share. Okay. Up here, what I want to do is I want to figure out about how big this chunk of frame is. So that says 1 3/4 from about the middle to about the edge. So that's a 3-inch tube. Again, not at scale. I'm going to grab an edge and pull it through here. And then grab these pieces.
Oh my goodness, Misty Millison, watching this is a really good time.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. You won the puns.
Keep them coming. Keep them coming, folks. This is like fuel for me and Donovan. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna weld all of this together. Then I can turn this reference off for a second. I can come up here with a circle. .75 will give me I said 3-inch, but that's actually 3.5-inch circle. And then,
yeah, some people are commenting that 3 inches seems a bit much.
Yeah, so I'm not to scale again. Remember, this is not 5 feet. This is like, let's see how big this is right now.
Oh my gosh, what would that be, like 12 feet?
Close, yes, 13 foot 2. So yeah, it's too big right now. It is too big right now. Absolutely. So I'm gonna undo some things that I just did. I am going to put all of this into a group. Then come into the group, grab that, weld it. So the problem was when I did the follow me, it still broke at those spots because there's geometry there to break that edge. So even if I weld it at spots where I have other geometry crossing through, it can't weld. It has to be broken. There has to be a point there. So by taking those edges and putting them into their own container, I ended up with a now one true single edge. So now if I follow me with that, I should get an unbroken tube like that. There we go. I took this front piece and I ran it long because I want to bring this back and decide where I want that to end. So I want to choose where that's going to die into the other tube. All right, that looks cool. I can get rid of some of this extra geometry. And then I have two more pieces, so I'm going to grab all of this, make a group here. Oop, I got to add. So you can't, this is right currently a single curve. For whatever reason, I can't make a group with one entity. I don't know what the reasoning for that is, but I'm just going to draw another line like right here. And then, excuse me, triple click all that, make group, and then come in here, hide rest of model. And then I can make another tube that comes out here. I got to turn on my reference though. I don't know how big this tube is. Again, at the scale I'm currently working, this tube is 1 1/4, so it's a 2 1/2, slightly smaller than the main tube. So come in here, and I want to draw a circle. I want my circle to be perpendicular to or normal to that edge. I don't know if that works. Can you say a face is normal to a line? Because normally a line is normal to a face. But anyhow, I want this to come out 90 degrees to this piece. So there's a couple things I can do to do that. I could create a surface that is that direction. So if I could come right here. The problem is if I draw a line on the blue axis, that's not 90 degrees to this face. So if I draw a circle there, it's going to be tilted away from the line, so it'll actually be squashed when it does the follow me. So what I got to do is get. Sorry.
I was going to say, Dave is asking, or I guess saying, that you can make a group to contain the single edge if you either start the group before drawing the edge, or if you select it and then choose to make group from the edit menu.
There we go. Could have gone up to edit. I didn't. You're right. See, Sage is in action.
Transom is celebrating that you did the math.
Sage is in action right there. Dave's showing why he's a sage. Yes, absolutely. I could have done that. I mean, well, hold on. I could have done one of those. Creating a group before drawing lines implies that I'm planning that far ahead or that many steps ahead, which, let's be honest, if you've been here before, you know that that's probably not what's happening. I could have selected it and gone up to edit and said make group. That would have worked, but I can't just right click and do it there. So I don't know why that is that way, but yeah. I just wanted to call out Andres on LinkedIn just asked, what does someone have to do to apply to work at Trimble? It's nothing really very magical. You go to the Trimble website, go to the careers page, find a position you're interested in, and apply. That's it. That's all we got. So you can do it.
Yeah.
All right, so check this out. There's like I said, there's a couple ways I could do this. This is a fun one. I'm gonna draw an edge straight off the green because green is perpendicular to this where blue or red is not. And then I can grab that edge right there, go into rotate, click right here and drag my line up here. What that does is it sets this line that I have as the center of my rotation. So now when I grab this piece and I rotate it 90 degrees, look what happens. That piece is not parallel to the blue axis, it's slightly off. So what that did was if I connect these two, I now have a plane real quickly that is perfectly perpendicular to that axis. Again, not the only way to do that. I could have also come in and grabbed my axes, the actual axes tool, and aligned to that, which would have given me the ability to use my snaps to snap to perpendicular. But yeah, that's an option. That's kind of a fun way to do that. I'm going to re-weld
got a comment
this.
on LinkedIn saying, could you weld all the lines together and then make a circle and then use the follow me command?
Like what I did?
Well, yeah.
Sorry, your question came right before. So yeah, so I got these edges. I'm going to weld them, and now I'm going to take a circle.
Yeah, there is a little bit of disparity between like live and comments coming in. So I'm just trying to make sure that I'm bringing it in from all the different
absolutely
we got.
It is
where we're streaming from.
I don't know if everybody realizes this, but we do stream on multiple platforms at once. So there is, generally speaking, a decent delay, like sometimes up to 30 seconds between what we say and when you hear it. So
both our sages chimed in saying that you could also use the Pi tool for that, for what you just did.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, maybe we'll have another chance. I think maybe when we get down here, I'll have a chance to do that again, too. I didn't even think about that. This is what, okay, I'll be honest with you guys. This is one of the things I love about SketchUp so much is I don't want to talk about many ways to skin a cat, but I know some people out there like cats more than I do, so I won't use that term. But there's many ways to draw a thing. So it's really cool because you can come up with your own ways to do something, and there's a chance that the way that you do it is like unique to you, which I think is so cool. We can all end up with very similar geometry in the end, but how we get there is dependent upon how you want to do things, which I just love that part about SketchUp. All right, let's carry on with this frame. So this piece is done, this piece is done. They're two separate pieces right now, but that's okay. I'm going to leave them like that for right now. I'm going to come up here. This part that I still don't know what it is it's about 5 inches wide. So I'm just going to draw a circle right here. 2.5 inches. And I'm just going to I don't need this edge right here. I can just take this up like this. Grab that and make that its own group.
Where we're going, we don't need edges.
Edges. That's right. Cool. So I have 1, 2, 3 pieces of pipe. Uh-oh, this one's not solid. This is a solid group. This is a solid group. This is not a solid group. So let's double click in here and see why it's not a solid group. So there's an amazing extension. Hopefully everybody here has it. It's called Solid Inspector 2. There was a Solid Inspector 1, but this is 2, which means it's twice as good as the first one. So what this will do is this will go through and it will take a look and find out why something's not a solid piece. So my intention is to use solid tools to join these pipes together into one piece. So what it's telling me right now is that there's actually 15 stray edges. So I didn't actually need solid tools to tell me that because I knew that I did a follow me. And when you do a follow me, it keeps that geometry, unless the follow me geometry is on an edge and it gets absorbed into the new shape that's created, it's probably still in there. So if I turn on X-ray, I can see there's my center line edge. So I could have just gone in there and deleted it, but pulling up Solid Inspector lets me just hit fix and it's gone. And I should, at this point, be a solid. Yes. So what I'm going to do is grab 1, 2, 3, save, and then go up to Tools, Solid Tools, and union that thing. All right, that gives us one big piece. And you'll also notice up here, it's still a solid group. Solids are not required. You don't have to have everything be a solid when you model in SketchUp, but I would say majority of the time it makes it easier to work with your model if you know your individual pieces are solids. Because then you can use things like solid tools or, yeah, they're just, in my opinion, it's a cleaner way to model. Not a requirement though. All right, something I want to do, so like I mentioned, these are pipes, but right now, you can see they're all just solid pieces. If I wanted to, I could take this piece right here and I could hollow it out to run my forks through to the handlebars. And I'm going to do that. So what I'll do is I'll offset this. I'll push it in this much, precision modeling, and I'll run that to the bottom, and that gives me that open piece. The thought may have been there, well, couldn't I have made that tube open before I did the union? I could have. But the fact that this tube ran into this space would have meant that afterwards I would have had to go through and then delete all the geometry that was left over inside from the weld. So by waiting till after the pieces were joined together as a solid, it's a quick push-pull to hollow this out, whereas it would have been a lot more cleanup later. I guess I got to take back what I said earlier, and I have to acknowledge that I can think ahead a little bit. All right. So there's most of my frame. One more piece. I do have these forks back here.
It's coming together really quick.
It really is. Yeah. We might be.
I mean, it is a simple design. It's not like, you know, a house.
There is a difference. Let's say fabrication in the real world. I know that this was probably not on an assembly line at Schwinn getting belted out, 1,000 of these in an hour. But this probably went together quicker than the Meyer May house did. So yeah, valid point.
Lauren says, I started doing my own penny farthing at the same time Aaron started his. I finished it and have posted it in the forum.
Can you block words? That's awesome. Thank you, Lawrence. I appreciate that. I do every once in a while get called out on the fact that, these 2-hour sessions are maybe 30-40% of me just talking about stuff. But I've heard that's not all bad. So I don't know. That's what we do.
You know what? People keep coming back. So
That's true.
There's that.
Valid point. All right. So the back fork is also a part of this frame. So again, I'm not really too overly concerned about making every piece of this its own separate piece or anything like that. But I want to kind of go with how is this more or less put together? And this would all have been welded, or attached together in some manner. So I'm going to put the forks on here, and then I'm going to call that done. Then we'll do the handlebar front forks. Then we'll do the seat as a separate piece, and then we will detail out the tires and spokes. So yeah, let's do that. So it looks like, again, I want to do the same thing. That's one of the reasons I was like, oh, good, this is still a solid, because what I'd like to do is model out this back fork, and then I think I'm using that term right too, by the way. I have owned a bicycle since I was 6-7 years old, but I don't really know anything about bikes at all. I think the fork is the splitty part that the wheel goes into, but correct me if there's a better term for it. So I want to kind of model after this. And if I look at this piece, if I slide this over here, it looks like what happens is down here, we got a little bit of a tilt or a little bit of a bend. So they come in a little bit in front and then kind of swoop back to where they connect to the axle here. And then up here, we have connection of some sort. So those are the things that we're going to model.
That's such a broad statement of some sort.
Something connects to something there. So we're going to nail that. And here's how.
In principle, this thing seems pretty simple. Dangerously simple.
You're not wrong.
I don't know what the accident rate on a penny farthing was, but somebody made a comment that was like, there's no brakes. So to slow down, did they just jump off? And from what few video footage there is of people on penny farthings, that seems to be the case.
Yes, I do believe that is 100% correct. They rode and then they flipped their leg over one side and stepped down, and yeah. I mean, it's easy for us to go, whoa, that's such a ridiculous contraption or whatever, but I'm like, This was cutting edge technology at some point.
Yeah, there was a time when this was the new hotness.
That's right. Think about that. Whoops.
How far we've come in penny farthing technology.
Our bike technology is just killing it now. All right, so here's the center of, this is where the axle will come out. This is an edge coming off parallel to my frame. So what I'm looking at right now is where does this, what I will do, here's what I'll do. I'm going to take the end of this piece right here. If you go into move and click on an endpoint, you can move that endpoint separately. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it along the green axis and inference this piece right here. That means that the end of this point currently is in plane with this piece right here. So I can go, my geometry did not end up with quite the same swoop. I guess what I could do is I could take this wheel and scoot it back ever so slightly. And then that would give me more of that swoop. Something like that. Okay, I don't hate that. Like I said, connection details are blurry. I'm just gonna say. So I'm gonna do my thing here. A fork-shaped joint. I want a job. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I don't know if that was related to what we were talking about earlier, but yeah. This is going to also, I'm just throwing some curves on here that I can, again, use on follow me. So that comes down like that. That's cool.
Somebody was asking if these were originally made out of wood. I don't think so.
Yeah, not that I'm aware of, but that, I think the ones that I've seen, I feel like maybe wood was involved somewhere, like seats, or I feel like tires at one point were made out of wood, but I don't know where that comes from. That's totally me just saying things. So don't take that for anything. All right. So here's what I'm thinking for this. So these forks are roughly, so that's about 2 inches. And again, at the scale we're currently at. So what I'm thinking I will do is take this, weld it, actually get rid of, oops, not that one, that one, that one. Put a circle right here. All right. So I've been using SketchUp for nigh on 20 years at this point.
My goodness.
And I still guess when I hit the left or right axis, when I try to constrain, right? Left axis constrains you to green, right, or left arrow, excuse me, constrains you to green, right arrow constrains you to red, R for right, L for green, red, right, right for red, R, right, red, L, left, green, you know.
So what you're saying is that there's hope for the rest of us. I hope that's what you're saying.
I do it wrong every time. Like it's like when you plug in a USB-A cable and you go in and put it in and it's the wrong way no matter what. You flip it over, it's still the wrong way. It's the third side that actually goes in. I feel it's like that. Like I just cannot nail it the first try no matter what I do. I'm going to put a radius of 1. And things are going to get a little goofy here, so bear with me. I'm going to take this, whoops, that didn't weld. Whoop, that didn't weld either. What's going on here? All right, there we go. Weld that again. And then do a quick follow me. Like that. All right. Now, that looks cool.
That the goofy part?
No, not yet. That's going to happen now. So okay. I will connect this to something that will actually hold the bicycle tire wheel. Up here, what I need is some way for this smaller tube to be able to be joined. So it has to go out the other side. So I'm going to make this a component. So I'll make two of them. But it also has to be in some way like flattened so that I could connect onto this. So here's what I'm thinking, is that I could actually take this piece right here and stretch that out so it's wider up here, and then connect that up into this piece. Because that could be what happens here. This could be tube that's pounded flat right there and then welded. I don't know. Like I said, I'm taking full advantage of this blurry photo. Like a Bigfoot expert over here. All right, so I'm going to grab all of that, make it its own group. And I was talking about this earlier. If I take this and I go to scale it, I can scale it like that, but you can see that actually maybe that is exactly what I want. Yeah, that was
It
cool.
worked out the way you didn't think it was going to work out?
I don't give myself that kind of credit usually. So I'm going to scoot this here. I need a inference line real quick. So I'm going to drop, come just below here.
So Dave chimed in and said the colors are the same as the nav lights on a boat or a plane. Left is red, right is green. Buy your supplies at Western Marine.
Sounds like a jingle that Dave maybe grew
well,
up with.
Randy supplied the jingle, but Dave supplied the fact that the colors are the same as nav lights on a boat or a plane.
That's awesome. And I don't know if that was intentional or not, but that is cool. My problem is not remembering that right's red. It's when I'm in the throes of modeling, when I'm really in here getting into this, and I'm right here like this, I don't remember which direction's red right now. If I can't necessarily, like I can't see my axes. So if I want to draw a circle and I want to constrain to an axis, I usually just have to start tapping, and I'll go back and forth like that a couple times sometimes. So yes, Dave is 100% correct. I did not know that that was true, but I believe him. That was more about my inability to remember, as opposed to, or to recognize which is which, as opposed to remembering that right is red. That's cool. That's the thing I learned today. I learned my new thing, so I'm going to call it. I'm out. All right, so I'm going to take this. I'm going to soften this real quick. Oh, yes. See, I like this. I like this a lot. I'm going to take that, and I'm going to smack it right back up against the face of this image. Oh, yes. Yes. That's good. Love it. All right, so that is currently
almost purdy.
Not solid. So I'm going to come in here and find out why not. I'm guessing same thing I saw before. If I come in here and hide that, there's my edge for my follow me. I'm going to triple click to grab all the edges, delete it, edit, unhide all. And if I exit back out now, I should have a solid group. Now I'm not done yet, because at some point I'm going to have an axle coming through here that's going to have to run into this. Again, I don't know exactly what's going on, but I'm going to assume something similar to the way a fork works now, which is something that an axle goes through and connects up. So when I think about how to best do this, here's some things I'm thinking. So this...
Colin says SketchUp has a display crosshairs function.
Whoa, I got an issue here. As this came down, I somehow had it tilt in.
I thought that was by design.
Yeah, totally.
And I'm sitting here thinking you did all of that on purpose.
All right, so here's the thing I'm going to do. I'm going to make a copy. I'm going to Control C, Control C, Control V. All right, so I have a copy of that, and it's on my clipboard right now. Now I'm going to undo a bunch of times till I get back to my original edges. All right, and now I'm going to ridicule Aaron from before. Yeah. Okay, there's straight up and down. For some reason.
Aaron, how did you?
Come on, man. So I have to come up here and get this in line with that. And then apparently it also turned, nope, that didn't work. So undo. I'm going to grab all of this. I'm going to turn it so that this piece right here is in line there. And then I did all of this also sneaked from here on down. Also has to get rotated.
Transom saying that Aaron needs some dropouts for the rear wheel.
Is that a comment on my college career?
Hmm? Lawrence says, based on the wheel sizes, the Pennyfarthing should have been called the Crown Sixpence. Please see the forum for details. I went and checked out his model. It is a Pennyfarthing in the fact that it's pennies. So yes, it is a very accurate model.
Nice. All right. I don't know what happened here, so I'm just going to create a new outline. Well, I do know what happened. I did not stay square. So I'm going to come from here to here. So I'm still out slightly. Okay. I'm not going to try to figure out what I did. I'm just going to fix it. So I'm going to bring this line back over to where it hits this, then up to here. That should, did I do that right? So is this on the blue axis? This is not on the, what the crap? All right. Where I got to the end here. There.
Again, I thought you were doing all this
straight down.
You could have.
That was an amazing organic shape.
And not said anything, and I would have been like, Aaron knows exactly what he's doing.
I fooled you. Yeah, okay. I don't know what happened.
Ransom says that dropouts are what the rear wheel bolts to.
Yes. That's what I said. Whole thingies that the thing goes through.
Yeah. Philip says, why not draw the profile on a flat and then erase the not needed line and then rotate back up 90?
Yeah, that's my intention, but I can't get back to flat. I can't get a square. I can't get anything square. All right, hold up. I'm just gonna nuclear option. It's gone. Rectangle from here. Keep it like that. There we go.
Would your initial line be off, which is why the rest of it isn't square?
It could be. So I'll try to inference off of this. There we go. Run that out like that. There we go. And then that will go up to here somewheres. And now I can put a new angle like that. Get rid of that, 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 get rid of that. Get rid of that. All right, that looks, I don't know, it still looks like it's tilting. Oh no, okay, there we go. What we need to do is we need to go to camera and look at a parallel projection real quick. If we spin so that we're looking right down the red axis, that should look like a vertical line. Yep, okay, good enough. Oh, this is never going to production. I've already spent too much time and energy on this. All right, so I'm gonna grab these edges. Once again, I'm going to weld, then I'm going to follow me. The nice thing, I will say this is a thing I learned early on in my career, is that the earlier, when you do have to do this stuff, you find a mistake and redo it. He usually goes quicker the second time. So that's kind of nice. All right, I'm gonna take this, scale it about the middle to about that big, and I'm gonna pull that, whoops, I forgot my edge. I gotta keep an edge right here. All right, there we go. Now I can grab this scale option, bring it out, pull it out to here. Get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that. Did you not hear me say get rid of that? Oh, all right, let me just soften it all. Okay. What? That's weird. Apparently that edge isn't actually there. All right. That's a little harsh, actually. I want a little bit smoother transition right there. So I'm going to come into my invisible edges. I'm going to grab this like that. I'm going to scale that and just option. So scale about the middle. Just give me myself a little nicer transition, a little smoother, something like that. Okay. Beauty. Make that a group. Bring that, as we were just doing, back over here. That'll work. Now I need the thing. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to do a circle right here. I'm going to go, this is a 2-inch pipe, so I'm going to go just slightly bigger. I'm going to go 1 1/4, 1.25. And then I'll bring that out 2 inches. Grab all of that. Get it by the middle there. Turn on my hidden geometry and line that up with X-ray. There we go. No? No.
No?
That was the middle, but I guess not. It's somewhere
Off kilter.
Oh, I'll just make it a little bit wider. All right. Not just good, but good enough. All right, make that into a new group. And now I can grab this and this, 2 solid groups. Again, tools, solid tools, union. Before I copy this to the other side, I'll come in here, offset this piece, and then push that through. There we go. That's a 1/2 fork if I've ever seen one. I'm going to take it, get rid of my reference layer, mirror that, make a copy and mirror that. Oops. There we go. And then maybe grab both of these. I should really be saving more often. I blame that on you guys at this point. All right, I'm going to union that. I should be able to come in here and get rid of all that geometry, but no. So something, something wasn't square when I mirrored that over. See that? So that tells me that those 2 pieces were like this instead of being perfectly flush. So I'm going to undo a couple times. I'm going to come in here and let me look at something. If I drop a line straight down, that should break here. It doesn't break.
Oh.
So I'm just slightly off. I think it's easy enough to fix because I think.
So the question is, how did it happen so it doesn't happen again?
Sometimes that's the question. Sometimes the question is, how am I going to fix that real quick so we don't spend 20 minutes on this teeny detail? I'm just going to take it and bring it up flush. There we go. Now it broke that piece. So my original geometry was off. That's the answer to that. So everything from that first profile I drew, Robert called it, or I remember who somebody called it and said I should have drawn on a flat surface to begin with. That is what I should have done. Yes, absolutely. All right, then let's mirror that again. But easy enough to fix if you know what's going on. Now if I grab both of these, what should happen is when I combine them together, so if I go to Tools, Solid Tools Union, it should go together completely, and then this should be, yeah. So I can grab that.
Ooh.
Gone. And now
See?
grab that and
That looks
this.
great.
Camera, tool, or back to Tools, Union. And yeah, I use Union rather than outer shell. I know some people say, why don't I use outer shell? Because I don't. All right. You know what? This is going somewhere. I like it. I'm going to do something real quick. I'm going to make this into a group. And I'm going to come into that group. And I'm going to scale this front tire to 5 feet. It's going to scale that group. So when I come in here, all right, that's better.
That looks much less menacing compared to Teddy.
I don't think she would be quite as alarmed by that. But it is funny because, like, I mean, you know, I don't know if you, every once in a while, Instagram will decide that I'm like into bikes or something like that and show me ridiculous stuff. Oh, you know what I didn't do when I did that? Hold up.
Ooh, what's that?
My reference image is right here.
Ah, yep.
Okay. So I'm just going to do this because, and that's the reason, because, but yeah, every once in a while I get served up bike videos or something, and I get people who are making, probably because I have a lot of design and fabrication stuff in my feed, but I'll see people making like these kinds of bikes now, which is kind of fun. But you'll see them with like 8-10 foot front tires. I think, what's his name, Colin Furs did some ridiculous like 20-foot tall bike like that. So 5 foot's probably real, but dudes were building these when they first came out. So there's probably some ones that were really that size.
Everything Colin does is just ostentatious. Is that the right word?
Mental, I think, would be the term that he would use. But yes.
Yes, exactly.
Totally mental. All right. I'm going to do the same thing I did before without the screwy uppy part. So I've learned. So well, let's see. Let's see if I've learned. I'm going to try to make basically the same shape.
Peggy says 5 feet up is still a long way when you can't stop.
Yeah. Who wants to do some independent research and tell us when brakes were invented for bicycles? I'm going to draw a line across the middle of this tube. And then something's going to come down to here. Then it's going to come out to about, I want to inference this and go to about the middle. So they're about the same size. And then it's really should be pretty close to vertical, right? Yep, vertical snaps right there. Oh, love that. That was kind of cool. So now all I have to do is give myself a nice curve right here. Let's see, what did this scaled, what's the scale dimension of this fork right here? So about 3/4 of an inch. So what I'll do is draw a circle right here, snap like that, because this way, snap like this way, because now I know I'm in plane again. Things have been righted in the world. And I'll do 3/8. That'll give me...
All is right with the world. And so thanks to you, Aaron.
I did that.
You did that.
So we'll weld that. Follow me. So yeah, second time through's quicker and easier. Third time through's just a treat. All right, I'm going to scoot this back a bit. And I'm just going to, triple click that, get rid of that center. Same thing here. I'm just going to go scale this out. If I come out, I want to be at least that wide should actually be perfect. And then I can push pull this to the middle here. And then probably do something similar to what I did last time, is turn my hidden geometry on. You know what else I could do? I could do this, make this a group, and then come in here so it's a little bit easier to work on. Show me my hidden geometry. That's the wrong button. Show me my hidden geometry. Grab that piece. Nope. There we go. Got just that. Scale. Oh, something's out.
I'm glad these weren't made out of wood, because that would be interesting.
Yeah. That'd be a challenge. Again, some guy somewhere was designing and working on it, so that's not too far off of believing that was intentional. The challenge. All right, there we go.
Ooh, Kiggy said 1873 for front wheel brakes on bicycles.
And when is this thing that we're working on? When did this come around?
Ooh, and Eric popped in the chat saying, I'll show you my hidden geometry if you show me yours.
Naughty. All right.
How's it going, Eric?
Welcome, Eric. Absolutely. I just did that to the scale of what our size used to be, but I don't have to do it anymore. So I'm just going to go circle right here, 0.5, pull that out like that. Bring this piece out like that. Make that into a new group. Solid group. Solid group. And you know what we do. You know how we do this. Once again, union that. I'll take that and I will flip that. So I'm curious, Eric. Eric, of course, those of you who don't know, was up until not too long ago, a member of our team. He was a video content creator. Used to do these live streams. Did you make it contingent at your new place that you get a 2-hour window of free time in the middle of the day on Fridays so you could hang out with us? I hope so.
Be like old times.
That's right. Let's use outer shell this time for just fun. Just for fun.
Just for fun. Let's do it.
There we go. Yeah, I gotta say, it works pretty much the same as union. All right. Oops. You know what I didn't do? I forgot to offset this. So I'll offset this much, and then if I double click over here, it'll offset the same amount. Push pull this through to this side, and then double click over here. And there we go. We got us a fork. All right. Up here, I'm going to draw a circle from the middle. Like that. Take that down. Oh, something's ugly there. Let's not do that. Let's try it again. So remember, SketchUp does things based on what you can see. So if you ever find your control or something is snapping to somewhere it shouldn't be, try changing how you're looking at your model, because that might be all you got to do to fix that.
Ooh, Dubs is saying you should save.
Yeah, yeah, I should. Command S. Good call, good call. All right, circle again from the middle. A little bit bigger, but I want to kind of, there we go, that sounds good. gonna triple click that, make it into a new group. Take these two solids again, tools, tools, outer shell. Outer shell is one less click, so it's not my favorite thing to click on. Awesome. So this is coming together. So we really got three things left. We got tires or wheels, everything that is the wheel. We got handlebars, and we got a seat. I was thinking about using sub D for the seat because I thought that would be kind of fun. So let's keep that for last. Let's pound out these handlebar mustache-looking handlebars, which makes a lot of sense.
Asking, has Aaron placed that frame with enough out to account for the spokes coming out at an angle from the wheel?
They don't get to come out very far. Yeah, it's possible that we might want to come into here. Gosh, I keep hitting the wrong button.
It's possible. It's possible.
There's a chance that if I grab all of that.
Lawrence says, according to the Basecamp video, Union keeps internal structures? Question mark.
I believe that's correct.
Doug says, I use Union so much that I've put it as a shortcut on my menu bar.
Nice. Like that. All right, I'm giving an extra 3/8 of an inch on either side. All right, there we go. A little more space. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. All right. According to our reference image, something is up here, and then these handlebars kind of go whoop, like that.
It looks like, oh man. See, each of the pictures of a penny farthing is kind of different, but it looks like an extended upside down W with handlebars on the ends. As
if you were to go like this, like upside down. Also, I don't want to critique your mastery of the English language, but isn't an upside down W just a M?
You know what? Yes, you are absolutely right.
Just saying. I mean, that's
an upside down W is an M. I know words.
It's tough, man. We spend so long working on doing words and still.
Well, I'm going through these pictures and I was like, oh, that looks like a no, that doesn't quite look like a W. It looks like an upside down W.
Valid.
Yes, an M. Although some of these look. What's the word from Hot Fuzz? Squiffy. Looks pretty squiffy.
I can see that.
Yeah, no breaks.
All right. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to make this thing sit up like this. So the other thing that I noticed is like, look at the distance here between the bicycle and the seat. Now, granted, this had to be one of the most uncomfortable seats ever made, not because of lack of gel padding or anything like that, but because your legs were almost fully extended to reach those pedals. So you were just like...
And your hands were like right by...
hanging there.
Waist.
Yeah. So yeah. Knee right here, foot down here, basically. And you're just kind of just reaching down like this.
Gosh, you would think that the creators of this would have racked themselves once and been like, we should probably change the design.
I was probably iterative, so I would not be surprised if that was the case. There we go. Okay, that goes in there. All right, now let's see if we can keep this in plane this time.
And Patrick made a good note. Cobbled streets.
Good morning and good night. Wow, that's going to be... Yeah, bad things, man.
Did you ride over here on your bike? How did you know?
Oh, welcome to SketchUp Live. All right. I'm going to draw this vertically and plane. It looks like they might tilt forward a little bit, but I'm going to get there. So it looks like they kind of go, I don't know how wide to make them either, but I think wider than that even. So I'm basically just have a plane here that I want to work off of. It looks like they came across fairly straight at some point, so like this, and then kind of looped up and then kind of looped back down. So I'm going to come over like this, and then I'm going to have those loop up, and then they're going to come from there, maybe back down, something like that. So let's see, if I come up like this, and then like that. See how that looks.
Keggy's like, is that how Walt got his Mickey's voice? Oh man.
I do like that.
Hey.
That's our frame of reference for this era is Walt Disney. I'll take that. That works for me. All right, so I'm gonna take that. Oh, you know what else I'm gonna do? One more slope right, or one more angle right here. All right, grab all that, weld it, and then I think I want to take it and just kind of stretch it up a little bit more than that. And actually back down a little. Whoa, 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 not that much. Be cool, man, be cool. All right, something like that. And then I want to put that back to the middle. There's my middle point. All right.
Your upside down U is looking great.
I think it needs to drop lower though. Let's scale that, drop it down even.
Ooh, Randy says there are small foot pedals at the back of the frame, just above where the back tire is, used for a rider to mount the bike. Interesting. Oh yeah. I see it.
Thing right there?
I see it.
We can do that. We have the technology. All right. So I'm going to do a circle of about this size. I'm going to do a quick follow me. Oops. Wait a minute. Why do you do that? What? Thought I welded that, but apparently not.
Something happened.
Follow me. Clicky here. What?
Oh. Is it because it's connected to other geometry?
That's telling me there's something. Oh, look at that. Okay. So when you have a path and you hit follow me and it doesn't do what you want it to do, odds are good that you don't have a path. So there's either a break in it or like this, there is too much geometry.
Ooh.
See, that's a
like
face
my
I have
baseball
selected.
coach would say, "Good eye, Aaron. Good eye."
Yeah. I fail so you don't have to. I'm gonna take that, re-weld that, and I forgot before I actually do that, I want to give it some tilt. So I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna, rather than have it go straight down, I want to go like kind of like that. I don't know if it actually does that or not. It's hard to tell, but I like that. So let's see what happens when I try to follow me on that. I think that's gonna work. All right, but the handles are a little bit bigger. Not a whole lot of detail here. Again, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this, offset this outward just ever so slightly like that, and then bring that back. I might even just leave those edges on like that. And watch this. I'm gonna take this piece and pull that straight out the side to give myself a little taper. I'm gonna smooth it, but I like how it turned out. Ooh, yeah. Okay. Gonna make that into a group. Gonna hide my reference image. I'm going to mirror that, a copy of that right there. Take both those, tools, outer shell it. Oh, they're not. Oh, I never got rid of my path. Again, there's a couple ways I can get rid of this. I could use Solid Inspector. Because I have a 3D mouse, it's pretty easy for me to poke my head inside of geometry, so I can just come in like this and I can see what's going on. Oh, here's a problem. All right, so we're gonna have to dive inside to see the issue here. The issue is when I pulled this outer ring back, it left a gap, or it left an inside face. So if I come in here and I grab tools, section plane, and I move the section place back in there, see this face right here shouldn't be here. So I'm gonna try deleting that. Whoops, deleted too much. Delete that. And see if that is now a solid. Nope, still not a solid, so I'll come in here and let Solid Inspector do its thing. There's a single internal face somewhere in there. Fix it, it's gone. Delete this one because that one was not solid. Take this one, which is now solid. Copy it. Right there. Take these two. Tools. Union. Gotta keep them guessing. Grab this one right here. Tools. All right. Biking away like that. There we go. Cool. Sure. Pegs. Let's throw some pegs on here. I don't know if that's what they were called, but that's what they were called in the BMX days. So looks like it's right about line with the center, maybe just below. So I'll just come in here.
You know, at least from that angle.
Yeah.
But we can get crazy with it.
Then we want to come out less than the width of the frame. So it's 3/4, so I'll do like a 1/2 inch. Radius. We'll pull it out about this much. That looks sharp, so I'm going to do the same thing I did here. I'm going to offset slightly, take this one, move it out a little bit. Just a quick poor man's fillet. There we go. That'll work. And then grab that, push that in like that. That was cool. Make that into a new component group. Solid. And then I will mirror that. Again, option. And I'll just use the bicycle face as a place to mirror that. That gets on both sides. So now I should save, be able to grab that, and that, all 3 pieces. Three solid groups, tools, solid tools union, and there we go. Our mounting pegs are now part of the frame. It's coming together, guys. All right, looking cool. Let's do some quick tires and then sub D seat, and we are there. All right, so the tires, based on my extensive research into this picture, it would appear
expensive being the key word, right?
Yeah. The minutes I've spent while doing other things and having this in my peripheral vision, I don't understand how these old tires work. The first tires, it kind of looks like I have a big rubber ring and the spokes are just stuck in it. You know what I mean? Like on a normal tire nowadays, you would have like the wheel, like a rim going around with the rubber on the outside and the spokes would go into it. But look at this. This looks like it just goes right in. So I'm trying to decide what to do with that. But what I want to do, what I'm going to do, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to draw a profile. So I'm going to say that wheel is, it's about 1 inch. So if I draw a line over here 1 inch, if I come in here and draw a flat circle, that same 1 inch, that's what's going to be. It's going to go all the way around. Cast iron frames. So were they, I guess the question I have then was, are they round? Or were they like flat? Because again, details, non-details. Or do I just get to make it up? Oh, good call. Yeah, let's make it up.
good call.
All right, I'm going to do this. Watch this. I'm going to make my own design based on my Admitted lack of knowledge. I'm going to take that and I'm going to copy that to right here. All right, and that is what I'm going to use as my profile. So I'm going to take that profile, cut it, come into context, get rid real quick of these edges right here so I have one continuous circle all the way around. Edit, paste in place, grab that, broke. Quick, follow me. Actually, no, before I follow me, I'm going to copy that profile again. Actually, it should have been on my clipboard, but anyhow, yeah, there we go. Follow me, profile. We got our wheel there. I'm going to right now hop in here. Same thing, get rid of that. Command V, get me that piece right there. Get it by that end right there.
Patrick says, Aaron, you're definitely freewheeling.
Oh, and just they keep coming, keep bringing them.
Transom says there is a U-shaped metal rim on a solid rubber tire.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of like what I got. So if we were to look at what I created, this piece right here is the metal part. This piece right here is the rubber part. All right. Couple more important details. I need to create the center hub. I lost my center. Oh, but I should be able to go like this. I should be able to draw a line from here. Well, can I get it?
Maybe.
No.
No.
No is the proper answer. I can't. Okay. Fortunately, should be able to draw a line like that. There we go. Bring that straight across. All right, so this should be. I'm not a fan of that word should, by the way. I ridicule people for using the term should, but that should be the center. We can find out easy enough by toggling the rest of the model on. That should go right through the hole in the fork.
Mm-hmm.
It works. All right. So now we got a couple things we got to do. If I look at this point right here, if I was to put a circle just a bit smaller. So like 11:30 seconds. There we go. Perfect. I did math on the fly just then. Don't worry about it. It's cool. Don't make a big deal. All right, so I'm going to do that.
Learning.
I'm going to offset that to bigger. I'm going to take that to here. I think in my picture, I think it's even bigger than that, though. It's pretty big. So I got to get, this is what I need, actually. So I'm all over here trying not to make geometry too big, and I'm selling it short. See how that looks. Oh, I keep. Yeah, how about that?
Yeah.
So we'll take.
Not bad.
That, then we'll go to right there. I realize this is probably something more like this. and then the spoke thingy happens. All right, so I'm going to go make a new, offset this. Try to do a little extra detail by bringing this out just proud of the surface, maybe something like that. And then that's what our pedal will come off of. So I'm going to come over here. Again, I'm just kind of running back and forth, looking over here, and then bring this out about the same amount. Looks good. And then that's going to come out here. Not too far. I don't want to get silly. I don't want to be silly with it. All right, so that's going to go, I'm going to do this. I'm going to pull this out like this. I'm going to put a circle right here. It's going to be the center that we'll put the pedal on. And then do something like that. And that. Bring those out here. Awesome. Oh, nuts. I just hate when that happens when you're, all right, and I'll just orient the faces and then half the model turns blue.
Well,
try it again. There we go. We're back. Kinda. What? How do you turn half a cylinder back and not the rest? Okay, I know exactly how that happens. Peek inside here. That's the problem. Get rid of that. While we're here, get rid of that. Okay. Orient faces again. Much better. Yeah, I'm not worried about that. We can actually get rid, at this point, of this piece, because that's just getting in the way. All right. It's really hard to tell from this pedal. My mind wants to make like a BMX pedal, like a solid chunk of plastic, but that's probably not what it was. But at the same time, we only have half an hour left, and it's more important to me right now that we get a thing in here rather than the perfect thing. Sorry, what was that?
I said time flies when you're having fun.
It's amazing. So I'm just going to, for lack of better info, what is going on right now? Somebody's fighting for attention. I'm having issues drawing. Huh. I don't know what's happening, but I can't, my snapping stopped working. I'm gonna save. When in doubt, save it out.
When in doubt, save it out.
All right, let's see. That did it. There we go. I don't know if anybody else has seen that. I think the issue I keep running into has something to do with my screen sharing and OBS fighting. Taking attention for the mouse or something. I don't know what it is. I don't know. So I'm just going to do something like this. I want to go all the way out. I just want to come on like to like here. All right. Make that a group. And then I'm going to, same thing I did before. I'm sorry, Teddy, but you, give me some space. I need some space. All right, there we go. All right, I'm going to take that. I'm going to flip it. And then I'm going to take this one, and from the middle of this circle, rotate it 180. And actually, oh, ew, what's this? Ew. There we go. Like that. Like that. All right, and I'm going to take both of them just because it seems unnatural to be perfectly at 90 degrees. And I'm going to do that. That feels better. Okay, spokes. And then this tire's done. I don't understand spokes or how they work. There is actually like a science to this, like from where they connect to where it's tension and compression, and I don't get it. I don't understand how it works, but I'm not gonna let that stop me from doing a thing. So here's what I'm gonna do. I am going to, like, I don't know, 1/4 inch in. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna come out to here, 1, 2 down. And actually, let's go to the center, and then that's going to go to there.
Don't you have to stagger them?
Yeah, so I guess that makes sense. That should be coming off of the inside of that circle, not the outside. All right, there. There we go. So I'm going to take that now, and I am going to rotate that by 30 degrees, and that's going to be 12 times. And now, sometimes we design beauty. Sometimes we wing that thing. I'm going to make that into a group. I am going to, again, like I've done before, I'm going to mirror a copy to the middle of that, like that. And then I am going to mirror that, not a copy, just mirror it along the red. And then I'm going to rotate it 15 degrees. And I think that gives me the way bicycle tire spokes are supposed to work. What do you guys think? I know they're not solids. I know they're edges. I apologize. I'm going to ask you guys to just go with it because we're running low on time. But yeah, something like that kind of makes sense, right? You guys buy that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Kiggy says it's cool, so you know.
Done. All right.
No.
I'm gonna
says nice.
Thank you. All right, get rid of this. And then we're gonna come in here, same thing. Draw a circle off the center. Nope, don't have a center point. Okay. Because it's not a circle, it's an offset. No, it was a circle. Why didn't you give me a center point? It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Just draw a line. Sorry you guys had to see that. All right, so I'm gonna come up here and go slightly less. There we go. That'll work. And I'm gonna pull that through to the middle of a thing like that. Make that a little larger like I did before. Pull that through to here. Offset that like I did before. Give myself a a spoke connector. Maybe that should actually be a little bit bigger. We'll just grab that right there. We'll say scale that. Option. Yeah, that big-ish.
That big-ish.
And this had something like, do you remember there's like 6 spokes on this whole thing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So yeah, far fewer spokes. But again, I'm not going to get caught up on, doing it right or whatever, obviously. So I'm going to come back like this.
It's not what the people come for, right?
That's right. Wrong room. All right, up to there. That was weird. I'm going to take that piece and rotate that. We'll do something like 60 degrees. All right. So I'll take that plus all of these. Make a group. We're going to mirror that right over here to here. Oh yeah. And then we're going to take that and we're going to, same thing I did before, flip it this way. And then we will rotate it half of, so 35. All right. There we go. We have front and back tires. And we got like 20 minutes to make a seat. I understand that this could sound self-congratulatory.
Yeah.
As I save, like it's no big deal. But, and I think Eric, who may still be here, commented on this, how after you do a few of these live models, your brain starts to figure out what it can do in 2 hours, and you automatically set a pace. I'm not going to brag on that and say that that's what I'm definitely doing, but there's something to that. I think it's like when you go into a meeting and you have so many, like you have a half-hour meeting and somehow around 25 minutes you start to wrap up the meeting automatically. There's some mind stuff, there's some brain stuff in there going on, but yeah, I don't know where that was going, but I just want to say that. All right, I don't know exactly how this is going to work. I'm going to draw 2 lines like that. Then I'm going to do something like this, this. All right, and I'm going to grab that and make a group from that. Come into this group. Going to open up a toolbar real quick. Tool palettes. I'm going to bring up, this is going to be a very simple subdivision model, but I'm still going to bring up sub D. So I don't even know if I'm going to use vertex tools or anything like that. Actually, I'm going to break this a couple more times, I think. Probably should break this one too. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start something like this. I'll take this piece out well further. This piece doesn't come out like that much. Nope. I am going to use vertex tools. These are extensions. I don't know if I mentioned this already, but these are extensions. All of them are from the extension developer TomTom. Vertex tools. Transform. And what this
sounds good with extensions.
Oh man.
If we know anything about TomTom.
Yep.
It's extensions.
He knows what he's doing. So what this is going to let me do is it's going to let me move this geometry in 3D space, but it's going to keep everything as quads. And quads are basically four-sided geometry.
Oh man, all the puns. All the puns. Kagi says Aaron's only got 20 minutes left. I hope he hasn't saddled himself with too much to do.
Boom.
Yeah.
I feel like we need a scorecard because just good stuff happens, and I don't want it to be lost.
So back before I was married, hanging out with friends, we had a huge poster board that hung in our shared living space, and it was manliest man quotes of manliness. And anytime you thought of a manly quote from a movie, you put it up on the board. We should have like a, I don't know, punniest pun quotes of punniness or whatever the equivalent would be to throw out, all the good puns we get.
I am not opposed to that in any way, shape, or form. I'm going to go ahead and admit right now that subdivision modeling does take a little bit more planning ahead, and I skipped over that step. And at this point, I'm just drawing stuff. That was fortunate that worked out so well. I mean, this is exactly how I wanted this to go. Oh, so close. All right, so this one didn't close up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bisect it like that. And then I'm going to take that edge and turn off cast shadows and visibility. Same thing over here. Connect these two up. Select that and get rid of it. Oops. I'll turn off cast shadows first. And visibility. Okay, there we go. I wonder if I could just take this and put it right there, if that's going to work. I don't know. You know, what's life if you know what you're actually doing? It's boring. That's what it is. All right, let's try that. Let's see what happens if I take that geometry and subdivide it. All right, we're going in the right direction. We're getting close. This whole experiment did not work at all. So I'm going to undo a couple times. And then take this across to here. Here. All right, so then we'll try to see if I can pull this down. Nope, that's not going to work. Okay, no problem. No problem at all.
Some people are saying just leave the saddle like that.
Ow. I'm just kind of arbitrarily getting geometry in here right now. Not too terribly concerned about anything closing up perfectly, because I don't have to be worried about that right now. Oops, and then I also need to do that and that piece. I got some interior faces right there. Get rid of that. Whoop, nope, too much. Over deleted. That, and if I peek in here, that should go away. Nope, that was right. There we go. All right. Okay. Then one more time. Close that up. Close that up. Connect that up and get rid of, hide that edge, smooth it, and I don't know. Let's see what happens, right? So, that's ugly, but I can fix it. All right. So yeah. So now we're getting close. 15 minutes left. I can do this. All right. So I made some ugliness here, and that's on me. I need to just clean some of this up. So I get rid of that, get rid of all of that, and that should fly. I think if I do that. So let's try that again. Subdivide. I will accept that. That is acceptable. This is not. This is ugly. I should get rid of some of this geometry too. Get rid of all this, and then just connect this to this. And that edge gets hidden and no cast shadow. And then again, I apologize. If you don't know what subdivision modeling is and you're just like watching me going, why are you just doing things and clicking things? It is because I'm under the gun. So if this sort of organic modeling seems to be of interest to a lot of people, we could do a modeling session solely dedicated to these extensions. Let us know in the comments if you want to see more of this and maybe understand how it is I'm doing all this. All right, so I'm going to take some stuff now. We're going to go back to vertex tools. I'm going to move this section down, grab these two, move them down. At this point, I don't even really remember what the original seat looked like, but I'm just going to go with it. I'm going to make a cool looking seat.
People are chiming in saying it's a Brooks saddle. Brooks saddle.
You're a Brooks saddle. That's awesome. What? What? Come on. I mean, that's right? Right?
Right?
It's not bad. That's not bad. That's good. That's not bad. That's good. All right. I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna run with this right here because we're running out of time. So I'm going to unsubdivide that. I'm gonna grab all of it. And you notice I left this part all loose. So when you subdivide, it keeps flat edges flat basically. You can see that's just staying straight. So then I can take all of this now. I can mirror it over to here. And then I can subdivide the whole thing. Got my seat. I feel like that's too wide though. That's again, talking about what the human body has to do to ride this thing. I feel like this is going to have to be much narrower. So I'm going to grab it, squish it in like that. That looks more realistic. And then we have some kind of a stuff going on under here consisting of, oh wait, hold on, I'm going to come in here real quick and I'm going to hide my geometry so I have just that piece. I got some kind of a stem coming up off of here and then some kind of wire shocks going here.
Yeah, so, some people are commenting that it's going to be a shame when that saddle falls off the bike.
Details! So, yeah, it's really hard to tell what's happening in here. So I'm going to make it up because some's got to get made. Hide this temporarily. And I'm going to look at my... Oh, you know what? I got to toggle this back off. There we go. Put a circle right here, flat circle. Come out this much, it's going to go down, and then it's going to go up. I don't know what that is. All right, so this is going to... I realize there's more geometry to this than what's here, but I am going to just make some stuff so that it looks done-ish. All right, so that kind of is going to go like that. And then just because they're so prominent and you can see them hanging out in there, I'm going to draw those springs. I have
It's
them.
missing a saddle bag. Patrick says it's missing a saddlebag.
Correct. There is no saddlebag. Should it have one? I guess it would be my question. Well, that. Follow me with that. I like it. Whoops. Grab that. Mirror that. I keep clicking the wrong thing. There we go. All right. Time. There is my 1 hour and 40-minute rendition of a Pennyfarthing bicycle in SketchUp. So I was close, you guys. There's a time there where I was like, all right, somebody go get me a picture of the pedals. I need more close up of how the spokes connect. I wanted to go there, but I got a full bike in 2 hours as opposed to really nice looking pedals on a half-done bike. So I know this feels like a cut corner right here, but overall, I'm not upset with where it got to. Yeah, I would not ride this.
Well, I'm glad we at least know that much. The model looks great. Would never get on it.
Yeah, that's a little crazy. Just one thing I want to point out here. A couple things that I might do with a model like this. So we did come in here, and I grabbed these and I kind of spun them a little bit. Easy enough. I would probably come in and make this one group, and that way, if I wanted to rotate them again, I could. And actually, this should all be one group, right? Yeah. So I could just grab that from the outside, and I can inference off of the center of this circle, and then I can just. Oh, those spokes need to be. Command X. Edit. Paste in place. All right, so now I should be able to grab this front tire, inference off the center here, and then there we go. Likewise, I would probably go grab the fork and this and group that together too. This is a little tougher because there's not a simple spot to inference off of to like rotate it, to turn it. So what I'd probably do is grab a line, edge, turn on my hidden geometry, draw a line that goes straight up like this, and then put that into context with that, edit, paste in place, and then either hide that edge when I don't need it, or put it on like the reference layer or something like that. Because then what I can do is it makes it real easy to grab, all of this geometry and go, okay, just click right up here and then turn that slightly like that. There's some geometry left behind off something. So that I can make, get that look where it's slightly out. And then, like I said, grab this one edge and hide it or whatever. But it's nice that it's there. In fact, if you keep it hidden, then all you have to do to get it there for reference is turn hidden geometry back on, which should be a shortcut for your toggle, a shortcut key. You should have that toggle on a shortcut key. But yeah, there you go. And then at any point you can rotate off of that point. Get it a little closer to in line, but yeah, there we go. And then toggle it back off. So there we go. That is our Pennyfarthing.
Woo!
Good looking bike. That is a good looking bike. That is
People are commenting saying it's sweet. It's good. You did great. Bravo. Excellent.
Gotta get
laughing face emoji.
little ambient occlusion.
Good.
Oh yeah, look at that. And
Ooh.
let's drop a shadow on here. Shadow setting, shadow on. Oh, bring it back, bring it back. Oh yeah, that's the stuff. Oh baby, sweet, love it. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. This is a lot of fun. We know what we're doing next week, Donovan.
Yeah.
Stall, drag it out, drag it out. I'm looking, I'm looking. I got the sheet open.
Extend, extend.
Workbench.
Yes, workbench.
We're gonna
Workshop.
design a workbench.
Yep.
So our idea, we'll create a like normal. We will create a topic in the forum probably Wednesday next week. But I would love to hear some of your guys' ideas of what would be good to have in a workbench. And we really want to brainstorm this. We want to design on the fly, different requirements, different steps we want to include. What do we need? What tools do we need? What's the purpose of it? So let's hear what you guys got, your ideas. Come into the forum, forums.sketchup.com. Help us come up with a plan ahead of time and some requirements for what's got to be in this workbench, and we will design it together. That will be next Friday, right here, noon Mountain Time, whatever that is, your time, and we'll do it again. So thank you for hanging out with us. Have a great weekend. Have a great week next week, and see you Friday.
Yep. See everybody then.
Thanks, guys.